find job interviews to be stressful? Are you downright scared by the time you get to the interview? Do you want to know how to give an interview that lands you the job? Well, then you've come to the right place. Hello, I'm Marcus Wade. Job interviews are stressful. An interview is a face-to-face meeting with one or more persons from the company where you want to work. It can be fearful. How will you know the best way to present yourself? Does your appearance count? How can you give the best answers to the interviewer's questions? Are there questions that you don't have to answer? Well, during this video, we will focus on the 6 P's of the job interview process, because interviews do count. They determine whether you do or do not get the job. Now, this is it. The preparation, the practice, the presentation. You're inside and ready for an interview that's powerful, the one that will get you the job.
Hello, Manuel Youngerman. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Jones.
Give a firm handshake as you introduce yourself, even if the receptionist already has. You see, this allows you to pronounce your name correctly and say it confidently to the interviewer. Quickly glance around the office to find something that you may have in common with the interviewer, or to pictures on the walls that might give clues to his or her interests. Then you can break the ice with an appropriate comment.
So I see you're a Jaguars fan. You know, they had a great season last year.
This small talk will last only a minute or so. It establishes a comfortable atmosphere. The interviewer may be the one to begin the small talk, and then he or she will get down to business, asking the questions. Answer the questions clearly and positively. Now, here are 12 questions that are commonly asked in interviews, along with some suggestions for ways to handle them. The first question in an interview is normally, what can you tell me about yourself? Now, this question can be answered in less than 90 seconds. So write your answer down in advance of the interview and then practice it.
Tell me about yourself, Manuel.
Well, I graduated from Jackson High School here, and immediately after I graduated, I got a job to help pay for my college education. And I'm working toward a degree in computer technology, and now I want to work for a small company like this one.
Now, this answer tells the interviewer several things. The person being interviewed graduated from a local high school, so he may want to stick around and work for a local company. It shows his initiative in getting a job immediately after high school and by paying for his college education. It also lets the interviewer know that he has goals, and finally indicates the desire to work for the interviewer's company. If you are new to or re-entering the job market, briefly give a summary of the experiences that you have had during the past couple of years that would make you a good employee. Caution, what the person being interviewed did not say was anything about his personal situation, such as family or marital status. See, this information should not be part of the interview. Another frequently asked question in an interview is, why do you want to work here? Now, be prepared for this one so that you don't stumble while thinking of your answer.
Well, Ms. Jones, I've checked out your company on the internet, and I see you've been around for several years, and you have a reputation for hiring young and talented people to produce the best products in the market, and that's the kind of company I want to work for.
Manny's answer lets Ms. Jones know that he has researched the company. He also speaks positively about what the company does, and that he wants to be a part of it. Now, caution. When the interviewer asks why you want to work for this company, avoid giving such answers as, well, I hear that you pay well, or my best friend works here. Your answer should relate to the company or business. Another question that may be asked in the interview is, what training and experiences have prepared you for this job? Well, the answer that you give will simply validate what you've written in your resume. If your experiences come from volunteer work, give examples about what you've done.
What training and experience have you had that prepares you for this position?
Well, Ms. Jones, during my senior year in high school, I took classes in computer technology, and I also worked 2 nights a week down at Cowan's Computer Center. And right now I'm taking a class in doing business on the internet. And I think I have the skills you're looking for.
Caution. When asked what training and experience you have had, don't say, well, it's on my resume. The interviewer is observing you for clues about how well you communicate. Now, one of the questions an interviewer may ask is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Now, don't say that you have no weaknesses, because everybody does. Be prepared to talk briefly about one of them, and then build positively on your strengths.
Well, Ms. Jones, I suppose my biggest weakness is in delegating tasks. I like to be in control of all the projects that I'm working on, but I am learning to give up some of that control. And I guess my biggest strength would be being self-motivated. It's very important, and I like what I do, and that motivates me.
Caution. Don't be tempted to rattle off a list of weaknesses. Give only one and tell how you plan to improve, and then tell your greatest strength. Another question often asked by interviewers is, what can you bring to this company? The interviewer wants to know what sets you apart from others that she or he has interviewed. Answer in a positive manner.
If I hired you, what would you bring to this company that someone else might not?
Well, Ms. Jones, I have the internet and computer skills that you're looking for, and I've been using only the latest technology. In fact, here's my portfolio with some samples of some of my work.
Caution. When asked what you can bring to the company, avoid giving answers that appear, well, too cocky. I mean, you want the job, but don't sound overconfident. Give examples of your experience to prove that you can do the job.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
What do you plan to be doing 5 years from now? This question is often asked to determine future plans and goals. Manny lets the interviewer know that he plans to stick around for a while, even if he isn't sure.
Well, I'd like to be at a higher level position in this company, and I'm willing to work hard and do whatever it takes to really make a difference.
Caution. When asked what you want to be doing in 5 to 10 years, avoid saying that you want to be president of your own company. See, this means that they're training you to leave and become a competitor. Most companies encourage teamwork. So another question will likely be, how well do you work with other people? They want to know if you are a team player and can get along with different types of people.
Well, Ms. Jones, I've always enjoyed working with other people. In my life management class, we worked in teams a lot.
Caution. This is not the time to tell about any encounters that you have had with co-workers. Instead, focus strictly on the positive experiences, giving examples when you can. Another question to anticipate is, how well do you work under pressure? Can you meet deadlines? The interviewer wants to know if you get stressed out or anxious when working on projects or deadlines, or when trying to handle calls with several waiting customers.
Can you handle the responsibility of meeting deadlines?
I'm used to deadlines, Ms. Jones. At Cowan's, we often had to have a product ready for clients within several days. And when I was in high school, I was away.
Even if you don't like deadlines and you want the job, give some examples of how you did work well under pressure. This is what will help you get the job. The question, what are your hobbies, is designed to find out how well-rounded you are. That is, what are your interests outside of work?
Do you have any hobbies, Manuel?
Well, yes, Ms. Jones. I love computer work a lot, but each spring I play basketball with the local league here, and also I love to read sci-fi books.
Caution. Avoid the temptation to say something like, well, computers are my life. The interviewer wants to know that you do have varied interests that will help you mix well with others in the company. And you better be prepared for these. Why are you leaving your present employment, and what will your boss say about you? Now, when asked why you're leaving your present job, give an answer related to the type of experience that you want or how this company better suits your goals. What would your boss say about you? Well, be honest but selective. Choose a positive point or two.
And what would your boss have to say about you, Manuel?
Well, probably that I'm enthusiastic, self-motivated, a hard worker, that I get along well with.
Caution. Avoid saying such comments as, I'm leaving because they changed my hours. Well, this means that you aren't flexible. Or don't say, well, my boss says that I talk a lot. See, these are things that you don't need to pass along in an interview. Asking good questions is an important part of the interview. This presents yet another way to sell yourself to the interviewer. It shows that you are insightful and that you are interested in the company. And remember, the interview is a two-way street. You want to find out if this is a company that you really want to work for, and if this is the job that you really want.
Are there any questions that you want to ask me?
Well, yes, Ms. Jones, there are. If I'm hired, what do you expect for me to accomplish in the next 6 months?
Caution. This is not the time to ask about salary or benefits. Wait until the interviewer brings this up. In some cases, Salary and benefits are not discussed until the second interview, depending upon the type of job. If, however, they do express an interest in hiring you, ask about salary and benefits. If the job interview is for an entry-level or first job, there may not be any negotiating for salary. These jobs often have the same beginner's wages for everyone. Now, this question, why should I hire you, is sometimes the first, but often the last question. Now, this is your opportunity to close the sale, to make the interviewer want to hire you.
Manuel, I've interviewed a number of people for this position. Why should I hire you?
Well, first of all, I have the skills and experience to do the job. And secondly, I have the drive and determination and am self-motivated.
Don't say that you are the best qualified because you don't know that. Instead, emphasize the skills, experience, motivation, and enthusiasm that you know that you have. Being prepared to answer these questions will help you have confidence during the interview. If an interviewer asks a question that you haven't prepared for in advance, don't panic. Take a few seconds to think about it and then give a brief reply, giving an example to prove your skills. At the close of the interview, whether by telephone or in person, ask when you might expect to hear from them.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Manuel.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jones. I really appreciate the opportunity. And when do you plan to have a decision made?
Likely within the...
Thank the interviewer for his or her time and leave with a positive comment.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity for coming to interview with you. Thank you very much, and I look to hear from you real soon.
Thank you.
Take care.